Good morning. Welcome to Environmental Coffee House. This is Sandy Shellis. Thank you for joining me. Today, it's a beautiful subject, but it's a serious subject. And what brought me to elephants was doing the video I created the other day for Friday. And the photographer that I used footage from a BBC piece, and he showed that they were I'm sorry. My dress is fully done. They showed Good morning. They showed that 10,000 tusks being burned, okay? 10,000 tusks being burned to send a message to poachers, okay? And hi, Cindy K. Let's see who's with us really quickly. I'm going to get to this because there's a lot going on and it's really nice. I got some fast moving elephants. Yeah, I sped it up a little bit. I didn't want to keep it slow. Listen, I didn't do anything much except my elephant stuff because it's been bugging me ever since I did that video and watched those tusks being burned. Hi, Dave. How are you? Hi, Wendy. Good morning. She's watching while working. Okay, good. Well, listen, it's not going to be, it might be a little sad today because animals are, they're going. There's, we are in the Anthropocene. The Anthropocene is where we are actually headed towards human extinction, basically, but we're extincting everything else first. Jennifer! Jennifer! Hi, Jennifer. I didn't know you were available. Well, anyway, we're extincting everything else first. And I put together some stuff to go through about elephants. And the tusks made me think. And when my one kid, was little, I used to take her to a place called the Catskill Game Farm in central New York. And the Catskill Game Farm had elephants and they had an elephant show. And it was a very good elephant show, but it was an elephant show nonetheless. And while you wanted to think that the elephants were being taken care of, you knew they looked good, but you wanted to hope they were taken care of and not treated like they were in the Barnum and Bailey circus, which at one time I was really into saving elephants. And I wrote letters and did all this stuff, and it finally became where the elephants were no longer used in the circus. I don't like circuses either. I hate fucking circuses. Excuse my language, but I really hate them. And I'm trying to look and see how my stuff is set up. All right, so let's get started. I don't mean to curse, but I was upset doing this. But I want to teach you guys a little bit about what's out there and what's going on with wildlife, and especially in the pandemic, too. You know, animals are, the elephants, at least, which is what I've been looking at, are starving because there's no tourist trade. And no tourist trade means that at least in Thailand, that they can't feed their animals. They can't feed their elephants. And maybe we should start off with the one article. Well, I wanted to start off, actually, I'm going to start off the way I planned. I want to start off in 2019. And I'm starting off with the Smithsonian Magazine, which had an article about 5 things to know about Botswana's decision to lift the ban on hunting elephants. Okay, it was like upsetting because Botswana has a preserve, and they work on well, I thought saving elephants, but it happened in 2019. And there's one at the Moremi Game Reserve in Mon, Botswana. So the article told us about that Botswana is the home to the world's largest African elephant population. And they lifted its 5-year suspension of elephant hunting in 2019. And probably mainly to get rid of them, to do it in a way that was legal so people like Donald Trump's kids could go to Botswana and hunt an elephant. All right. And pay big money so that these people could feed their families, which are ever growing everywhere. Well, not every country, but I digress, because if I go into that, then I might just get into an overpopulation rant, and how we, of course, human beings, are pushing animals off everywhere. And elephant population is going to go right off the side of the fucking flat earth. That's what's happening. So Botswana's Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources Conservation and Tourism cited the increasing prevalence of human and elephant conflict. So let's hunt them. Let's extinct them. Let's get them off, Man, I wish my voice wasn't so tweaky. God, it's just very annoying, because for the most part, they don't eat them, and they might eat elephant meat, because there was a warning that I read about when in one of the articles about when coming upon an elephant, don't eat the meat, and I thought that was pretty interesting. But so it's human and elephant conflict. We don't live in Botswana, but there's a lot of farms there. They got to feed their people because their people keep growing. Obviously. And this is not a black or brown thing. This is not a racist rant. This is nothing. I'm talking worldwide. We have to curb human beings from taking every last animal from the natural world. That's how I feel. Call me what you fucking want, okay? Call me what you want. It is kind of a rant, because after I do this, I get upset. I do. I get upset. I had one kid. She's having no kids. That's how I feel today. So why the hunting ban was first issued. And sorry, I am buffering, Rich. It's going to suck. It's just, I'm going to try to do my best. I'm buffering. It's not your computer. It's my lousy internet. And that's another thing that's putting me into this god-awful mood. So the hunting ban, it helped Botswana emerge as a conservation success story. Because in 2016, the elephant census, which I'll show you right now, let's go through the elephant census. This is the elephant census, and in 2016, they worked for a few years on a huge project to track elephants and the total population of elephants, and this was the website, and if I play the video, it won't even play right, because I think that it's my internet. So, yeah, hi. He says it's not going to happen. No, we're going to just watch them go and watch them go and watch them go. And it makes me so angry. There's not a thing that, it seems like political will doesn't ever go the way of animals in humanity. So this website, they showed the largest Pan-Africa aerial survey, and they generated data that was critical to the species they're starving to death in Thailand. Okay, so let's go back to this. And so they did this. 90 scientists and 6 non-NGO partners, consultants, 2 advisory partners collaborated in the work, including all of the big greens. Everybody chipped in. Everybody did something. So they created... Oh boy, I'm sorry about my internet. I just got a notification that they lowered my stream quality because you reach a certain amount, I think. Even though you purchase unlimited and you spend a fortune for the shit, and then they lower you and slow you when you use up your data. Even though you're supposed to be unlimited. Then they give you some bull crap and say, well, between 16 and 22 meg, whatever it is, you might be slow at some times. And it's very annoying. I won't even tell you. We don't take donations. We are a page that just does what we do out of love. So if the internet sucks and I can't afford it, bye-bye Environmental Coffee House. See the mood I'm in today. So they did this. They flew a total of 294,517 kilometers of transect lines to sample, excuse me, 218,238 square kilometers, or 24% of the total ecosystem area there. It was 9,700 hours, which is 406 days in the air, with an average flight time of nearly 3 hours by 81 airplanes and 286 crew. Now, you see, to do this kind of project, right, it costs money. And how do you make money to do a project like this? And I'm not taking a side here against anybody, for anybody, but how in a capitalistic system do you raise the money without having a big green to fund it? Did you see who funded this? So we wouldn't know, because the universities might have funded some of it, but it had a lot of partners. And so I'm not always quick to say, well, they all suck, even though they need to have lawyers, because it's the system we're in. The system we're in creates this bullshit. So the results, and I have a different website for those. It's just a quick paper, but it was from August 31st, 2016. And the Great Elephant Census was the first ever Pan-African survey of savanna elephants, and it confirms the massive population declines. How would we really know? I mean, we could interview all the people, but how would we know without people's money? Sorry. And it is disgusting, but that's how we all are, all over the fucking world. And it's not going to change. Like George says, okay, good luck. Forget it. So their population, they found that this was 2016, 4 years now. So 4 years of hunting and 4 years of droughts and 4 years of everything else that every country that has elephants goes through. Declined by 30%, equals 144,000 elephants between 2007 and 14. So that's 2014. It is now 2020. I looked and saw that the population of elephants worldwide was less than 400,000. I'm sure it's less now. I'm sure. And you know what, George, I got to put your comments up, because you're kind of like, I wish you were with me here. I wonder if we will lose the remainder during the pandemic. Well, that's hard. We don't know, because while they're starved out at least in Thailand, from what I read, and I didn't then have enough time to research everything I really wanted to research, they'll starve. And then the people come take them on chains and try to feed them, but they can't afford to feed them. So because they lost the tourism business, because all the gawking freaks from all the other countries that go there to pay them money to see the elephants aren't there. And so the elephants can't make it they can't make it when there's no food. They can't make it when the farms encroach on their territory, because they were there first. They can't make it when poachers kill them. They can't make it, period. So when our kids look at elephant toys, and we love elephants, they're so wonderful, and name cartoons after the elephant show, elephants and all that, they're never going to see them, if there even is a future for this godforsaken place we live on. 84% of the population surveyed was cited in legally protected areas, which that doesn't mean jack shit either, guys. They poach them right from in there. 16% was in unprotected areas. I mean, how do you patrol thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of miles? Drones? And who's going to pay for that? By counting over 93% of sauna elephant populations in 18 countries across 463,000 kilometers of savanna, the GEC provides urgently needed data on the size and distribution of elephant savanna populations in the wild. The information is critical to future conservation efforts. Good luck. and to elephants' very survival. I'm sorry, I'm so negative today. I love elephants. I hate this. I hate being witness. I hate bearing witness to what we have done to this most beautiful planets. So, of note, Angola's, Mozambique's, and Tanzania's elephants experienced staggering population declines, which were much, much greater than previously known and expected. Surprising and devastatingly low numbers of elephants were found in northeastern Democratic Republic of Congo, northern Cameroon, and southwest Zambia. In fact, populations in all these places face local extinction. Bye-bye, there you go. In contrast, South Africa, Botswana, Uganda, and parts of Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and W. Arlipandari Conservation Complex of protected areas that span Benin, Niger, and Burkina Faso were found to have stable, now remember that's what, 2014, and it was published in 2016, stable greater conservation attention and investment to protect the elephants that remain. And it's like that with every other single species on this whole entire planet. And I guess I am doing a rant today. I guess so. So they talk about their little facts. 18 national government partners whose permission. Okay, that, but then a lot of money, and a lot of fossil fuels, a lot of flying time. What did they say? 9,700 hours. They flew for 406 days. How much fuel did that have to use? Oh my gosh, don't we just live in the most friggin' wonderful time? I mean, strap in and watch. We're on a trip. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. They launched it at the end of 2013, and the first flight commenced on February 14, and they did it. So this was the project, and now they showed you carcass ratios. Carcass ratios. What's that? Is that what? Either they got killed or they got poisoned because they were encroaching on farms, or they were, poached for their tusks, and their skin, which is used by human beings around the world to completely, use for their medicines, and there's other countries that have not banned making piano keys out of elephant tusks. Botswana. So there was then, now this is then, remember, there was a less carcass ratio. Well, let's see, like everybody said. After this pandemic. Northern Cameroon, elephant count 148. 83% carcass ratio. Without intervention, it's possible that the small, rapidly declining population here could go locally extinct. Could go locally extinct. It is locally extinct. Northeast Democratic, and I'm not blaming the people. There's a lot of reasons why this happens. It happens because of political will. It happens because of religious zealotry. It happens because of I'd say religious zealotry and trying to spread the word all over the world. And then, with population being a no word and reproduction being everything. And oh my God, God forbid you try to bring some programs in for people in every country, the United States included, to reduce population by just having one kid or no kids. No nefarious thing here. Nothing evil. No Agenda 21. No spreading of this COVID just to get the population down. Ooh. Because it's doing a good job at getting animals gone. Ethiopia, 799, and they couldn't even see the carcass ratio there. And they were not located where they were expected to be. So they didn't do it. In Ethiopia, they couldn't even do it. Kenya, elephant count was there. Okay, a lot. 25,959. We know Kenya has a lot of preserves. Malawi, very small, very small. So we go through these, but you see, you get the idea. Tanzania had 42,000 then with a quarter of a 26% carcass ratio. There was rapid population decline of 60% in 5 years. I'm such a depressing person. I bring you so much cheer and joy. So that's it. Zimbabwe, 82,304 carcass ratio, 8%. It's so there's a final results. 10 years. They have to do it somehow, right? They have to do it somehow. What's everybody talking about? I've got more articles. Yeah, well, corrupt leaders, sometimes they even pay off the people who are supposed to protect the elephants. Human beings are corrupt. Isn't it disgusting? I'm so sorry to be on this, but this moved me. It moved me when I made the other video. I'm telling you, with the elephant tusks and how they burned 10,000 tusks to ward off poachers. 10,000 tusks! Just burned them. 10,000 lives. 10,000 beautiful lives of an animal that didn't deserve its fate. No animals deserve their fate. And veganism is looking so much more attractive and much more attractive by the day. Hunting animals for sport is wrong also, and that is and hunting animals for whatever medicines you think you need. Other countries, our country raises animals for medicine. You ever heard of Premarin from horses? It's a stupid hormone for women. So we just do it. We just do it. All right. I'm going to go up to, thank you, Adam, for saying it looks all right now. Maybe my internet came back. I don't know if that's going to. All right. So the second article I had is, this is really nice. This is from May 19th. Botswana probes death of 56 elephants. And that's a lovely picture. And I liked it. So they're investigating the mysterious death of 56 elephants in the last 2 months. Authorities have ruled out poaching as all carcasses were found intact. It was really weird. The country's Ministry of Environment, though, Natural Resources Conservation and Tourism, says 12 elephants were found dead last week in the village's Okvandago Delta Panhandle. 44 animals died. Wildlife officer, let's try it, Makatsko Nasibi, downplayed the possibility of farmers poisoning the elephants who tend to eat and stomp on crops. Wait. A local farmer said it's difficult to know the cause of death, but says elephants are a constant menace. Like Monsanto makes pest shit for mosquitoes and pests in farms. Elephants, they're just pests that weigh tons instead of little pests. It's all the same thing. We dominate, we destroy, and we kill everything. Farmers had a good harvest this year, but they constantly face problems with the encroaching animals, the farmer said. But it is a rare occurrence to poison the elephants. It might be something else. We have to wait for investigation. Local conservationist Ivy Mapp says the animals could have died of natural causes. It is also possible that this is a natural phenomenon from the disease anthrax, which occurs in Botswana occasionally, especially after a good rainy season or severe drought. What is that? That is linked. What is that linked to? That's linked to climate change. The anthrax phenomenon might not be, but we sure as shit know drought is. And it's been getting worse and worse and worse. So they gotta wait for pathology. So I'm gonna follow up on this one. The thing is, fellow conservationist Neil Fitt says if the cause of death was poisoning, other species could be dying as well. I wonder why we have not heard reports of other species also dying. If elephants are eating the poison, then it surely means other things will be eating it. So the public, this was the article, has been urged against consuming meat from dead carcasses. Botswana has the largest elephant population in Africa, numbering over 130,000 animals. Well, wait a second. What did this say about Botswana? Let's go back then. Botswana, 130,000, so they're still using the same data over the last 5 years. When they just lost 50 elephants. Well, 50 elephants or 100 elephants does decrease it from 130,000. So at the rate of loss of this species, you don't need to go and stay in the 3 digits. You could say 642,000 are left, because every single one of them is a valuable species who rules the earth in majesty, in they're sweet. They're beautiful animals. And they don't scare me at their size. They never have. So we go back and we see that with coronavirus, and that's what people were talking about. Destroying tourism industry, Thailand elephants in captivity will risk starvation. I hate advertisements. Hang on a second. Let me get this stupid advertisement out of here. Close. Okay. All right, let's fix this. So the millions unemployed, millions, Thailand is not that big, and there's a lot of people. Millions unemployed in Thailand due to coronavirus include elephants dependent on tourists to feed their voracious appetites. With scant numbers of foreign visitors, commercial elephant camps and sanctuaries lack the funds for their upkeep and have sent more than 100 of the animals trudging as far as 95 miles back to their homes with chains on. The Save Elephant Foundation in northern province of Chiang Mai has been promoting the elephant's return to the greener pastures of home. The foundation supports fundraising appeals to feed animals still housed at tourist parks, but also believe it's good for them to return to their natural habitat where they can be more self-sufficient. If they don't learn how to be they lose self-sufficiency. The situation is critical. London-based World Animal Protection says as many as 2,000 tame elephants are at risk of starvation because their owners, 2,000, their owners are unable to feed them. This is what's going on, and they're in chains, to go back. They say they're trying to save them. I don't know. It's just upsetting. People on Twitter were going nuts over this one. Since last month, more than 100 of the animals have marched from all over Chiang Mai to their homeland of Mechem, which is dotted with villages where members of the Karens live there. Give me a break. Are they Karens? Ethnic minority live and traditionally keep elephants. Okay, these are indigenous people. I don't blame them at all. I just have to make that so clear. They are victims of our societies, of the civilization, of human supremacy over animals, and of poverty. Save Elephants founder Sangduan Shillert said the project to bring unemployed elephants home was launched in response to appeals from their owners. Now, what happened was on Twitter, somebody said, unemployed elephants? What about unemployed people? Unemployed elephants. Do you think that just here's a question for you guys, and I'll just quickly look at what's going on. Do you think that these elephants are employed by choice? Now, wouldn't you call these elephants really wage slaves? Yeah, I would. And sorry, maybe, and I'm sorry. I won't apologize, human. I'm just at the point of I don't know who's watching. We're on Facebook too, and I don't always, just throw out F-bombs. But thank you for you guys follow me. Thank you for reminding me that I don't have to apologize for who I am. And when my mood is like this sets you off, and it probably sets a lot of you off. Thank you. This dude, he owns, the people own elephants. They just own them. Owns 4 elephants. That's how they make their living. He followed the foundation's approach in setting up his own small Karen Elephant Experience Park with elephants bought from Mei Chem's Ban Huai Bang, his wife's village. But his good intentions were no match for the coronavirus. At first, I thought the situation would be back to normal within a month or two. At the end of April, I lost all hope. He and his wife agreed to bring their elephants back to her village because they could no longer shoulder the monthly expenses of close to $6,250 for rental of land and facilities, salaries for handlers, known as mahouts, and food. And these are, this is giving mahouts and their family food, their sustenance. The elephants are creating sustenance because we have created a tourist market where one probably 50 to 100 years ago didn't exist like this. Elephants eat as much as 660 pounds a day of grass and vegetables. They convinced some other owners to make the 95-mile trek on foot with them. Trucking the animals is prohibitively expensive for owners of small parks, and elephants can maintain a walking speed of 4.5 miles an hour. You know what? Where's that picture? Were they riding them? I mean, that's a big thing, Tourists like to ride them. I can say I never rode one. These elephants, let's see, these elephants, they have not had a chance to return home for 20 years. They seem to be very happy when arriving home. They make their happy noises. They run to the creek near the village and have fun along with our children till they get to the farm. The project is also active in northeastern province of Surin, famous for its annual elephant festival. They love these animals. Nobody's saying they don't. Nobody. The project is also active in northeastern province of Surin, famous for its... Okay, I read that. The province's Ta Ton district, home to hundreds of elephants, welcomed about 40 of them back last month. So it's kind of a feel-good, kind of a not feel-good. The project is also active in... we don't know when COVID-19 will go away, said Save the Elephants. So this is our task. So if anybody wants to... if anybody loves elephants like I do and has a few extra bucks to throw out to a foundation that's not using a lot of it for administrative costs, but it's really going towards these animals, that would be cool. Okay. So I've been on for 37 minutes, and let's see what y'all are talking about in there. Sandy, it was outlawed in some places. It's bad for the elephant spine. Thankfully, thank you for letting me know. George, you're wonderful. George is 989 Big Boss in the chat. George Sacrilidis. Sacrilidis, did I say it right? George, everybody screws it up. That's what he says. But we had him on the show. I can't wait for him to come back, actually. He's written a whole lot more, just in case. Okay? So let's go on a little bit more, because I had a little bit more stuff. But when my internet was acting up, it was like really difficult. I'm starting to calm down a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. because we will go to World Elephant Day. Okay. And I don't know if okay, people are on Facebook. Oh, cool. World Elephant Day. I'll promote it. We'll promote it. On August 12th, they ask you to help conserve and protect these beautiful animals from the numerous threats we know. Okay. And as George said, the inevitable is going to happen. They will go extinct. I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime, but it certainly is a very fast pace. But the people do love them. They love them because they've lived amongst their elephants for centuries. It's just modern life that changes the dynamics of the relationship. So it is not their fault. It's more like the Western world's fault. It's exploitation. So the World Elephant Day, it was in 2012. It was launched to bring attention to the urgent plight of Asian and African elephants. The elephant is loved, revered, and respected by people and cultures around the world. Yet we are on the balance. We balance on the brink of seeing the last of this magnificent creature, except for maybe in a few zoos. We admire elephants in part because they demonstrate what we consider the finest of human traits: empathy, self-awareness, and social intelligence. But the way we treat them puts them on display. It shows the very worst of human behavior. The very worst. That was Graydon Carter, editor of Vanity Fair. And really big, here it is in a nutshell, guys. The escalation of poaching, habitat loss, human-elephant conflict, and mistreatment and captivity are just some of the threats to both African and Asian elephants. Working towards better protection for wild elephants, improving enforcement policies, to prevent the illegal poaching and trade of ivory, conserving elephant habitats, better treatment for captives, and when appropriate, reintroducing captives into natural protected sanctuaries. Everything has to be a protected sanctuary. There is nothing wild, really, even where I live. And today I got some footage of the fox, one of the 4 foxes that lives outside for future video. So cute. I wish I could keep them all here. Everybody come live on my property. So that's what they're doing. World Elephant Day is August 12th. So hopefully we can do something for World Elephant Day together on Environmental Coffee House, and we'll look more into it. You know, you can't save the world. You can't pick everything, but boy, look at that. Look at that. Look at that elephant. Don't you just want to pat that elephant and just love that elephant? I don't want to cry. I could. It's okay. And they take them for those. I said I wouldn't. Okay. Anyway, let's do that. And let's look at some comments. I said I wouldn't do this. How stupid. Sorry, it is emotional. And if you're not emotional over what's going on, you have no feelings. So we will look at some comments. Look at Sandy Breakdown. And say hi. Sandy, we charge $100 an hour for the therapy we're supplying you. Thank you so much. It is therapy. It really is. But when you look at this stuff, come on. Doesn't it kind of really get to you? Does me. Jim Massa from Alaska. He's with us. Science taught for Jim Massa. Great. He's such a good teacher. I've learned so much from him. I don't always comment on his videos because when I listen, I'm walking around the house with these on. I'm probably going to, like I said before, get brain cancer. And I listen to Jim. And Jim's awesome, and he's got to come on with me. He will come on with me soon. Okay, I promised. Oh, Philip says he's watched YouTube videos of a man playing piano for a blind elephant. Oh my gosh, elephants probably they relate, they relate to humans, but why do we kill them? I'm happy to see you, Jeff, too. This is great. You came from a little bit of a breakdown. I make Wendy's heart hurt every time because of the stuff we talk about. But people don't talk about this. And I understand everybody wants, in a Green New Deal and everybody wants everything. We're not going to get it. Hi, check out the Project Drawdown for the top 100 solutions for climate change and biodiversity loss. Okay, we will. And everybody's trying to make me happy again. There was a hummingbird in my garden today. I planted that garden against all odds and objections. I planted that garden. Cardboard, garbage, and worms. Ah! Great! Climate Marcher John, you're awesome. I have to stop this. All right. I don't even have a stinky tissue. Maybe I'm just more upset at the fact that none of us can control any of it. And it's just so goddamn sad. Let's meditate. I should put on some meditation music. I'd probably get a copyright violation, which I get all the time. Oh, elephants. They're magnificent, highly intelligent, emotional, and caring. How many people left? Music is life. It is. Music is life. It's one of these things that I will, these things, I know they're not good for me, but man, I can do things with these on and it's done and it really is great. I listen to all kinds of everything. So technology is not so horrible all the time, right? It's just that we've gotten ourselves into such a clusterfuck, and just reading the things that you do and about where we are in our civilization, humanity, collapse, coronavirus, the Anthropocene, it can get overwhelming. And any one of you tell me you don't cry over some of this stuff, and I know you're fucking lying. Because you're all caring people. That's why you follow us. So it's been a long day, and we've gone over quite a bit, and I really appreciate all of you coming. I'm going to put links up to the website where I took the guy that I made my little intro video. I can't remember his name offhand, but he makes some amazing videos. And in Thailand, of the elephants, that's where I got the one I have, and I sped it up, so it's cute. I'll put it on at the end. And gosh. Oh, yeah, Ecosia is good too. I use Ecosia also. I do. I use them both. The reason why I use Google sometimes is because of internet connection. I don't know. Maybe that's bullshit. Maybe I'm just lazy and I didn't go onto Ecosia today. Because I know Ecosia, when you use Ecosia and you do 100 searches, I believe the money, that their profits, Jim, help me here. Their profits go towards the planet, not towards somebody's yacht. Jim says April was very wet. Then May was dry and wonderful, and it's raining. You know what, Jim? You should come on with me Thursday on my 11 o'clock show, but it's 8 o'clock where you are. So think about it. Write to me. That would be cool. Thank you, Kevin. I have a kind soul. Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes. Hi, Zox. We don't even need to carve it. Just print the most intricate art ever made, better than any human could ever make. It must be a conversation I wasn't in. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. I'm so glad y'all came and watched me break down over elephants. I started this and said to myself, I was running late, my internet fell apart, and I said, I'm not going to break down. You are not going to break down. And I probably should have clutched something, and hurt myself so I wouldn't cry. But, oh, you were talking about the ivory. Gosh, I am like so sorry. Yes, right. No ivory art. Ivory belongs on the elephant. And I know that there's ivory in antique stores. You can't stop what happened 100 years ago. You can't stop what happened even 50 years ago, you know. And so I suppose if you collect it, yeah, I guess this is a way to end. We are all crying. Let's all just try to stay healthy, try to stay with each other, understand where we are really. It doesn't always overwhelm me and depress me because I have, for the most part, gone through the 5 stages of grief. And we all, I think, have. And if you haven't, and you're still stuck somewhere, you'll get there the more you're awake. Have a great day. We'll see you on Thursday. Natural Progressive tomorrow night. Women's, she calls Dames of Doom. Science Talk with Jim Massa. Oh, so many great channels. Peace out, guys. Peace, peace, peace. Love, love, love. Thank you for coming.